Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm Captain Nips. This is Monday. This in front of me is the BattleTech Backer Beta. It is another glorious week wherein we get to stomp some bots, learn some things about the way multi-ton walking tanks crash into each other, and deploy heavy munitions against same said walking tanks. Now, something that I would like to kind of build up to over the course of this week, and it probably won't take the whole week, but there's a couple of intermediary steps that I need to take to get to where I want to go with this. After last week's videos, there was some great discussion after I think it was Friday's video, or maybe it was before that. Anyway, between two of the watchers, readers, listeners. I'm not sure what people call people who watch YouTube videos on YouTube watchers. I don't know. Anyway, Silent Gob and V Monk had a very brief conversation about LRMs and breaching shot, which got me to thinking. What is the number one most overpowered pilot skill in the game right now? Bulwark. What counters Bulwark? Breaching shot. What's the best way to leverage breaching shot? That part we're going to get to in another video this week. But for now, the important thing to think about is the interaction between breaching shot, where you fire a single weapon system at a mech, which denies it cover, denies it bulwark, and the other combinations of pilot skills that are available to us. So, for instance, multi-target. Because we know that multi-target with breaching shot on the same pilot allows you to fire two weapon systems, one at each target mech that you choose. Can you go to 3? I think you can go to 3 with that. I've never had an opportunity for it, but you get the idea. As long as you're firing one weapon at one mech with breaching shot, you ignore cover, you ignore bulwark. If you have multi-target, you can leverage that against more than one mech at a time. Let's say we roll that into a lance that's using indirect fire with LRMs and has a spotter with sensor lock. Now we're really putting a big stew of pilot skills together. And I kind of want to get to where that video leads us down the road. But looking at the list of mechs that are in the default mech list, I feel it is important to shore up a couple of sore spots in the roster. And so today's video, in another chassis spotlight,
Welcome, Commander.
We're going catapults. It's going to be nothing but long-range fire today. So in the default mech list, we have the Catapult C1, a venerable workhorse of the inner sphere that mounts a pair of LRM-15s, a quartet of medium lasers, 15 single heat sinks, and some jump jets. Good armor. It's not fully armored. It's 160 out of 211 armor points per tabletop, so like 3/4 covered-ish, which is good, it's workable. It's fine. A good all-around mech, the C1. But if you really want to push the indirect fire button, you really want to just bring as many missiles as you can, I would suggest, and I would hope that it's available in the final game, that you move up to the Catapult C4. Now, the Catapult C4, on cost, is actually pretty much identical to the C1. It costs you an additional 4,000 C-bills, which is essentially nothing. And the C4 brings to the table an upgrade to the launchers. It takes the LRM-15s and turns them into LRM-20s. Now, that comes at a price. You downgrade the laser package, you drop 2 of the medium lasers, and you reduce 2 of the medium lasers to smalls. And you also give up 5 extra heat sinks. It goes down to the base 10 heat sinks that come with the engine. It does, however, add more ammo, so it has a little bit more staying power in terms of being a fire support mech than its cousin, the C1. Brother, sister, me. So in today's BattleTech in the Morning, I'm going to pit a quartet of C4s against a quartet of C1s, and we're going to just see intercontinental ballistic missile mess all day long today. I've set up the 2 lances. I've given them crackshot pilots plus sumo, and I chose sumo today because he has bulwark. On the off chance that we'll get to see Apex throw an LRM-20 at sumo's face, or any of them really if they decide to go to cover. For today's fight, we're going to take it... You know what? We're just going to stay on River Crossing. I think a rainy day might suffice. Let's get started.
Commencing deployment. Mech warriors, prepare for combat.
Now, I have mixed feelings about the C4. Because in tabletop and in tactical level games,
Command interface initiated.
the C4 is a fantastic, fantastic fire support mech. It is great. But because it gives up the laser package, and because it's not the fastest thing on 2 legs, it is capable of getting caught out. It is capable of getting caught in a position that it can't move out to safety. And also, just check out this range banding. Check out this range banding. This is what you get when you bring LRMs and small lasers. Nice little dead zone right here. We'll have to be careful for that. In fact, I may just jump up on this hill and hunker down a bit. Do I have someone that can hunker? I've got Wildfire can hunker down, right?
Standing by.
Heck yeah, she can. All right, we're gonna stick her on the top of this hill. Is it actually the top of the hill? Yes. We're gonna stick her at the top of this hill. We're gonna get a beautiful line of sight to the world. One of the things that I've learned playing MechWarrior Online for entirely too long that I'd like to admit is that when you play a fire support mech, and anyone that's played MechWarrior Online will attest, fire support mechs kind of suck because it's very easy for the enemy units to crawl up on top of you. It is very simple for enemy combatants to exploit your lack of speed to really just drive up on your backside, or your front side even, where your LRMs are kind of dead. So there's where my mixed feelings come from.
We got company.
But if you're able to keep some distance, keep your positioning, it's kind of hard to argue that the C4 doesn't bring the pain. Alright, so I'm going to start this match off by reserving,
Waiting for the right move.
because what I want to see is one of those enemy catapults to come kind of crawling down a little bit. And I think I'm going to start this party off with a little bit of sensor lock in direct fire. Or maybe even sensor lock direct fire. I've got guys on mountains. I know they're not going to be able to get up. The question is, are they smart enough? The answer is no. To use Kraken's sensor lock to any effect whatsoever. So we're going to... Actually, don't want to move forward. I'm just going to stay in these trees right here. I do, however, need to make sure that his sensor bubble is doing something good. There we go. So we're going to do that. We're going to sensor lock. Catapult number 1. He's in cover. Take a few... Ooh, he's also braced. So,
Commander?
here is where
Aye, aye.
we get some work done with breaching shot. Turn off one of the 2 LRM-20s. So now here's a thing that you need to keep in mind when you are weighing your options for, do I fire all of my guns or do I fire one gun with breaching shot? The important thing to understand is that entrenchment slash bulwark slash whatever the solid shield says, that's 50% damage reduction. If you only have a single launcher, of course you fire that. But if you can muster up 2 launchers worth of fire, 2 weapons, full weapons worth of fire that have identical maximum alpha potential, it doesn't really make a huge difference if you decide to fire 1 with breaching shot or 2 without, because ideally you're doubling up your damage, but half of it gets reduced by the cover. It's a wash. However, it is worth pointing out that ammunition is a thing, and sometimes you can save yourself some ammo by firing only the 1 weapon. So let's get this started. That's a good start. We got a little bit of leg in there. Now Wildfire.
Yeah? What can I do you for?
Wildfire's not going to spare the whip here, which is a terrible word. You know what? I take that back. I feel bad for even saying that out loud. Lots of 2s as we drop all sorts of missiles on this guy. 85% chance to hit. Sumo!
Target mark.
Yeah, you're fine. Snuck a head hit through. Got a good stack of stability damage on as we go into the next turn.
Waiting for orders.
So now since that catapult has moved, we're going to continue the barrages here. It moved and braced again, which seems...
Yes, Commander.
Again, when you're getting rained on by enemy units, standing still and hiding is not going to help.
We'll go.
Push the position, because things like this start to happen if you dawdle. The real question becomes, when is the enemy lance going to get into range to actually do anything of consequence here? Because right now, they're not really bringing anything.
Engaging target.
And their lead element, Catapult, here is getting hammered.
What's up, Commander?
Now the other thing I do need to keep in mind as I'm using these Catapult C4s is I do need to keep an eye on the heat scale because of the lack of the additional heat sinks that the C1 has mounted. So far it's not been a huge deal. Woo, look at that. Oh boy. Alright. So now we just have direct lines of sight. This catapult does have some movement modifier though. So Kraken will continue to chip that down. That is a solid stack of 30 LRMs that just hit Wildfire in the nose.
I'm receiving you. Taking the shot.
As the streams of missiles continue. Whew. Well, at least the AI is being more aggressive with its moves now.
Standing
It's
by.
trying. I'm going to give it credit for trying. Or at least trying to try.
Roger.
Meanwhile, this guy down here is all sorts of up a creek. Although surprisingly, I haven't cracked it open.
Something I can do?
checking that heat scale as we start to creep up toward the red line. Blow through the left side of this catapult, remove one of its arms as it continues to try and move up. Laying into Wildfire with a decent barrage. You can't get complacent around catapults, especially the C1, because it can get into medium to short range and brawl with you. So,
Waiting for orders.
what can we do to fix this? I think, first of all, I'm going to have Kraken move and just reposition just a smidge, because I want him to drop some missiles on this guy to continue the party and let him get in on the action. Woof. Woof. The bees. The bees. The bees are coming for you. I guess the AI just really wanted to get into medium laser range before it decided to start firing, which, sure,
Yes, Commander.
that's not how I would prefer to live my life, but, you know.
Piece of cake.
We'll leave Wildfire up there to do her thing. There's no reason not to just kill these guys. 87. This is gonna overheat. I'm gonna overheat. There isn't a lot of risk at this
I'll
point.
make 'em
I'll take the next turn off and bleed heat. But Sumo might be able to just finish the job here. Ooh, got close.
Oh, look what you made me do.
Got close. Yeah. Two errant missiles worth of damage from just killing that catapult. As Wildfire is continuing to tank for the team, doing a fantastic job. Again, Bulwark, ladies and gentlemen, cannot stress.
Standing by.
I cannot stress how ridiculous Bulwark is right now.
Moving
I'm
to
going to
position.
keep saying it, and I would hope that somehow that message works its way through the ether to Harebrained Schemes. I'm sure they are hearing it. You know what? I am absolutely certain they are hearing the feedback. Bulwark is stupid. But it can't hurt to keep saying it. Because eventually we're going to get a campaign game. And I would very much like to not have to lean on Bulwark and counter Bulwark strategies in my pilot, you know,
Reporting
training
internal damage.
regimes. Alright, so now Wildfire's taking too much fire, so we are getting her the frack out of here. In fact, oh, I can't sprint because she's actually taking too much stability damage. How about we hunker down, take a turn off, bleed that stability, bleed that heat. We're up a kill, easy peasy, but these catapults are closing in relatively quickly, so it is time
Receiving you.
to begin the tactical withdrawal. The question is, where are we withdrawing to? Ideally a place that's kind of safe,
Roger.
because I would love for Kraken to have an opportunity to light somebody up with a sensor lock. Everybody's pretty much identical here, so let's go with the nearest one. And of course it's gone to ground.
I'm receiving you.
Alright, let's get Apex out of harm's way and turn her so that she can let loose with her cover defeating breaching shot. Guarded defeating breaching shot. So now as I progress through the videos this week, my plan First, we introduce the Catapult C4. Possibly also introduce another mech variant, or at least a tweak to a mech that we have on hand.
I'm here.
Because in the end, I'm gonna set myself up for maximum. Oop, nope. I'm gonna set myself up for maximum breaching shot slash multi-target slash sensor lock slash murder. I don't know if that last slash was really necessary,
10-4.
but you get the idea. For now, however, we will just rain down on our target, bringing all the missiles. It's probably actually
What's up, Commander?
worth checking ammo bins at this point, because... Okay, so Sumo's down to 320. We started at 420. Hey, hey. So we've used about a quarter of our... A little bit less because Kraken's not been firing. Whoa. Check that. Check the heat. Check the heat. Back up. You know what? Take a turn off. We've got over a quarter of our missiles left with a quarter of the enemy lance inbound. So I think we're on pace. This is fine.
Yes, Commander.
Continue to make the tactical withdrawal up the hill here. I would kind of like, you know, this mech moved and then it braced. Like, there's no question in my mind that's exactly what it's doing. I don't want to give up my back. Hey, you know what? You know what we can do to not give up our back? We can jump. Oh my god. The jumping retreat to keep your facing while also getting good cover. Man, that's delicious. While also tagging this guy. At some point, these catapults are gonna make the ridge, and then it's just gonna turn into a direct fire furball.
Standing by.
Let's see.
Commander.
Apex has lots of spare heat to work with, because one launcher fired every turn is not really heat generating. So let's take a jump for position's sake. And throw some anger and fury at this guy.
Waiting for orders.
Wildfire, I think we are just gonna move her back
10-4.
and push the brace button for now.
Something I can do.
Sumo, on the other hand, he's still got some life left, some missiles to fling, and some heat scale to
Consider it
give.
done.
So we're just going to have him plod a little up the ways. Turn. Just with his guts 8. Just fitting another salvo underneath the red line. As he drops most of those missiles onto the top of that catapult. Oh, you lying POS game. I heard that heat warning. You did not indicate there was going to be a heat problem there. Hate it when the game lies. Also, okay, yeah, that's weird. There was a weirdness there,
I'm receiving you.
but we're past it. All right, so that guy decided to back off. So nope, don't need sprint. Just need to walk. Keep our distance while keeping our bubble up, but I would love to keep the bubble on that guy there. Maybe we just sit here because this guy is just inside the bubble. Once I get this guy down, or I get a second target down, I'm going to, because I don't really, you know, this is not the campaign, this is just a skirmish. I don't care about salvage or losses necessarily here.
Standing by.
I'm going to move into the direct fire portion of these events and really drop the hammer on the last two guys.
Engaging target.
That did a whole lot of things that I did not expect. One, I was clearly not paying attention to the heat scale. Two, that did not crack the armor on that guy. I am honestly surprised.
Yes, Commander.
As we continue to fire. Cover piercing angry bees. This should do some hurt. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah? What can I do you for?
Not quite at the point of the match where I want to get into a fracas, so I'm just going to pull back a little bit. Now, Sumo was already running hot. He ran right up to that red line. That's going to shut him down. So, firmly in the need to start staggering my fire part of this game, which is a little unfortunate. Kind of really feeling the extra heat from the LRMs and the lack of those 5 extra single heat sinks.
I'm receiving you.
So, I think it's Kraken's turn to shine. While we reposition into getting a line on these two guys.
Aye, aye.
Kind of leave this guy alone for the moment. What do we got? There is so much cover entrenchment bulwarking going on here. Oh my god. The AI is being exceptionally cautious in the face of getting just obliterated by missiles, which is weird. But you know what's also weird? I have focus.
Let's hit him hard.
That's not really that weird. So let's smoke this guy for a few.
Locking on target.
Catapults. Like I said earlier, catapults are pretty durable. Let's see, in this game's parlance, you're looking at 800 armor points across the entire mech. That is not shabby, if I did my math right.
Yes, Commander.
Boy, howdy. Definitely in the shutdown territory here. So let's take a little bit more of a walk. In fact, let's take a little bit more of a sprint. I want to be able to move back enough and actually want to give up my... Neither of her sides are really good to give up, because I've got the left side with the ammo and the torso that's open, or I give up the LRM-20 on the right. I think for the sake of not getting exploded, you give up your right side.
Copy that.
I don't think they're going to fire on Wildfire. I really don't. But here we are, so, you know.
Awaiting orders.
Apex, there's no reason not to move. Although, doesn't really get her any...
Moving out.
Doesn't get any movement modifiers. This is just repositioning for positioning's sake. And she's got so much ammo left because she's only been firing one launcher every time. Honestly, I think I just made a mistake. I should have split my fire there. I forgot that she's got multi-target.
Yeah?
Speaking of multi-target. Also, speaking of bulwark. Sumo, it's your turn to sit there and take it for the team. So it doesn't make any sense for Sumo to split targets. Because he doesn't have breaching shot. What he does have is a pair of LRM-20s and a viable target.
I'm gonna make some...
Let the spray down continue and somehow tapping the top of that heat scale again. It's getting a little infuriating. Whew, boy. Kraken is not a huge fan of getting shot,
Losing armor.
as you can hear. So,
Waiting for orders.
let's get him back out of the way. Just a hair. Why can't I get a line on anything from back here? If I back up, I do not get very far. Oh boy. Right side, left side. That could give up my rear if I'm... Actually, that will give up my rear, so that's not great. Let's just
On my way.
pull back. Turn. Not even sure that that was a great move. He had plenty of heat scale to work with. I just don't want him getting shot at all that much. Which might be a little bit reactionary, but that did bait the enemy mech into firing on Sumo, which is kind of what I want. So,
I'm here.
speaking of... Oh, he's still suffering from heat exhaustion. That's going to shut him down. So,
No problem.
hunker down. Stand there and take it like a man. Or a woman. You know, whatever. Stand there and take it. It's the important thing.
Waiting for orders.
Apex, on the other hand, has plenty of opportunity to sneak around and fling missiles at things. And
On the move.
this unfortunate gentleman has decided that not bracing for the first time in ever is the good idea. Also not in cover. So this is going to really suck for this target. Could have sucked worse, but
Standing by.
you know, work with what you got. Let's see. Move to a direct fire line here. Is there a better direct fire line? I kind of just want to make sure that Wildfire, now that she's a little beat up, is not a primary target. And of course, we're still dealing with the heat situation here. I'm going to take this shot despite the fact that it's overheating. It's not shutting down. And I've still got a fair bit of structure to work with in places. So I'm going to take this shot. This target is way too open. It needs to be... Yeah, we need to do that to it.
Keep an eye on my heat, Commander.
Sumo continuing to be the honeypot to take all of the damage
Come
from
on,
the enemy
dummy.
team.
Try and hit me for real.
You know, I think Sumo's doing just fine.
I'm receiving you.
That said, there's no reason not to leverage his guns while we have the opportunity. Heavily armored target, there is no reason not to shoot at center of mass. His numbers are terrible. What in the what? Alright, let's back this train up just a smidge. His tactics is 3, which means that firing on a downed target using his tactics is hot garbage. God, let's just take a look at these numbers. Oh, and we're also in minimum range, which is definitely not helping. So let's see if we should fix this. If I'm here, let's just take a quick peek. Yep, just inside minimum range. That's real unfortunate. So we need to move back a little bit. That's better.
On the move.
Kraken might get shot at, but he's braced. Center torso. We got LRMs. We have heat scale to work with.
Oh, you want some of this?
I was a little tempted to actually aim for the head, but this is going to do so much damage to the center torso.
Nice hit on that one. Nice hit. Oh, come on. It's like a steam bath in here.
What? Where are you getting these? Where are you getting these? I feel like the game is messing with me in terms of the heat messages it's giving from the pilots now.
I'm here.
Speaking of, we're just gonna have
Confirmed.
Wildfire
Holding and cooling.
cooler jets.
Standing by.
Kraken, on the other hand, has a ton of heat scale to work with. So, I'm a little bit curious.
Confirmed.
I don't think this is going to amount to anything. Because this catapult's head has 61 total health. It's 4% chance on a called shot to actually land any hits there. I'm firing 80 missiles. 10% of 80 is 8. 5% of that is 4. So I can count on like 3 missiles actually striking the head here. Minus the 5% I'm not getting on the actual 2 hit. But I'm going to fire at the head because I don't do it very often and I'm curious.
Confirmed.
Woof. Did any of it hit the head? Not a single missile. That's fine. We blew off the left side. Also turned the center torso into hot soup.
Standing by.
Apex is going to finish the job on that.
Move order confirmed.
We move around in the forest, baiting our enemy. You know, I'm even going to go for the head again because... And I'm just going to fire one launcher. Because at 17 structure left, that means 5 missiles have to hit the center torso to kill it. If I'm aiming for the head, I am actually expecting most of the missiles to whiff and hit either the center torso or the remains of the left side of the mech. So, let's see how this goes. Yep. Totally just blows out the center torso. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, damage transfer from destroyed segments is a real problem if you're getting shot at, because it all just transfers to the squishy bits. Speaking of squishy bits, oof.
I'm taking internal damage.
This guy's getting salty. Wildfire takes a smidgen of damage. Just a little bit of damage there. So we're gonna continue to back her the heck out of the way. Literally back up. Curiously, she doesn't have... Oh, she doesn't have any spotters yet, is the problem. Let's fix the spotter situation.
Aye, aye.
Who's still got armor? Apex, you've got armor. I need you to present a target. We're gonna rotate our line a little bit.
On my way.
I didn't look too close at the red lines. Hopefully, whoops. Well, that was a mistake. Days since last misclick. I wouldn't even say that was a misclick. That was just a bad, not paying attention moment. And now I really need to back
Critical hit. Critical
Wildfire up, but they've used both of their current mechs.
hit. Standing by.
Kraken, I need you. I'm really surprised she didn't have line of sight from there. I need you. See? Alright, I've got 2 red lines, which is not what I had when I was trying to line up the shot. Here, yeah, even better. Over here. Because that gets this guy. Oh, boy. Well, if you were expecting a 100% competency out of me on a Monday, I think perhaps you might have been expecting too much. Oh boy, this might actually just... If we this is going to go ugly for this guy.
Confirmed.
One way or another, this is going to go ugly for this guy. Man, that's a lot of explosions. That has not got to feel good. Alright, now Wildfire can maybe get some action here. Or not. What happened? We've got an LRM-20 in the arm. And she's out of ammo. Not sure how I didn't notice that before. Reference back to lack of competency. Well, this presents a pickle.
Moving at full throttle.
She's got nothing but smalls left. And she's too far away for anything to matter. I'm hoping I can go off the top rope here on this guy in a moment.
Something I can do.
So, Sumo, if you'd be so kind as to walk over here.
Okay, I'm on it.
That's good. I'm glad you're with me. Point your guns at this guy. And shut down again. Really running that red line is proving to be difficult in these Catapult C4s. And I'm thinking of if there's a tweak to the build. Is there any tweak to the build that we could make to really shore up the heat situation here, aside from just
I'm here.
staggering our fire? Let's see. Can't quite get there. This might actually get her shot to death. But I mean, really, honestly, truly, if you're gonna DFA on somebody, you at least want to start from the highest position nearby you can find. Oh boy, that's gonna be ugly if I pull that off. Speaking of ugly, that salvo was kind of ugly. Ah, you're fine.
Commander.
Sumo doesn't have the heat scale. Kraken's got plenty of heat scale. Kraken's got plenty of heat scale. And he's at minimum range now, so we need to fix that. Can we fix that? Ooh, that might be a problem. I can get there, but that gives up cover. Oh, okay. One step back and to his right. We line that up. It's bulwarked, which means that's wildfire, I believe.
No.
It could be sumo. I guess it could be sumo or wildfire. Heat. You know what?
Locking on
Let's
target.
just keep tickling our insides with damaging thermal emissions. Sneak a crit onto one of the launchers there.
Yes, Commander. Move order confirmed.
Apex having none of this problem because with breaching shot on these guarded, covered, entrenched mechs, she only has to fire one launcher each
Target
time.
confirmed.
Conserve ammo, which conserves C-bills.
That's
Conserve heat, which lets us fire for many, many more turns in a row.
Yeah. I'm there.
I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to sneak the second launcher into this. Yep, didn't think so. But I'm gonna anyway because I'm so far ahead in this match. Why not? Also, I like looking at explosions. Man, those are some explosions.
So hot in here.
Alright, here we go.
Gonna puke.
What's this guy gonna do? Oh, don't run away. Don't run. Oh, he ran away. Oh, he ran away in a way that shoots at her. Keep it together. Keep it together.
internal structure damage.
Alright, now, wildfire. Wildfire. I'll be very, very careful about this. In my instructions to you. Because this is probably your last act on the battlefield. I want you to turn on your jump jets, go into low orbit, and then crash on this guy. Can you do that for me?
I'm receiving you.
And the answer is no, because he took one step away. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls. Alright, you know what? Jump down there. Point your guns at this guy. You still got 2 small lasers. You've got his weak side. Actually, you're not going to kill it with 1 salvo of small lasers. But you're going to do some damage.
Roger that. Target confirmed.
both of which struck the center
Critical
torso.
hit,
I mean,
Commander.
she's putting together a resume here. Oh, she's boned though. She's gonna turn. This guy's gonna turn on her so hard. Yep, this is where Wildfire's catapult explodes.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Unless the AI decides to have a conniption. You've got to be kidding.
That shot just grazed me.
No missiles. You split your fire on a focus shot. What? 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 Wow.
Standing by.
I just don't even. I just don't even. But you know what I do even? When I murder this guy. Oh, I'm curious. If I move, my numbers any worse? No, they're actually not worse, and I can get the lasers involved. And yes, I know my heat skill's basically topped out. But, whoa. I did not expect to go into shutdown. Let's make it an overheat.
Attacking from position.
Squirrely missile fire. I don't know, I didn't even see the lasers in there. Apex can do that, but can do it so much better because you know why? She has all the heat scale in the world to work with. Point all your stuff at this guy and shoot it, please. Woo! And that's how you plow a catapult. Woof. Alright, Sumo could finish the job here. This guy's sitting on a ton of heat. I really want to give Wildfire a chance to off this guy. So Sumo needed to bleed heat anyway. Oh, here comes the focus fire. Here comes the pain. Does Wildfire survive the turn? In some reality, yes, she survives the turn because unless he split his fire,
Waiting for orders.
you have got to be kidding me. Alright, so let's just check the armor on the legs, because you know what's coming next. That leg is getting busted. Her right leg is definitely coming off. Absolutely definitely coming off. Let's just take a quick check of this guy. His left side is open, but I can't get to it. Best I could do is either the right or the front. So I'm going to pick the front and do something completely silly. Wow! Whoops! Well, the order of operations was a little bad because it went DFA strips side torso off enemy mech. DFA self-damage kills Wildfire. Wildfire's lasers fire after that, killing target mech, coring it out. And maybe not the best use of some war material. Honestly, if I'm to be completely fair. But it was funny. And that finishes this this outing of the Catapult C4s. So here's the thing. Here's the thing I'm thinking. 15 rounds, 42 minutes, 22 seconds. I did the typical fire support thing where I kind of just picked a line, stood behind some cover, threw some indirect fire, whittled them down until they got to me, preserved my lance as best I could, except for Wildfire, who we used almost the entire buffalo there. Woof. 35 structure left in a leg that's sitting on the battlefield somewhere, I'm sure, because it's certainly not connected to this torso that's now gone. Likewise with the torso and the arm. So the question you have to ask yourself, is the C4 Catapult, with its two LRM-20s and pair of small lasers, a better option for a fire support mech than the Catapult C1 that we already have, with only the LRM-15s but with extra heat sinks and with medium lasers. I think this one's tough. I think that because of the nature of fights in this game so far in the skirmish module that we have to play in, given that almost every fight eventually makes it to medium to short range, I think you still want the C1s. I think the C1s get the edge here because while you're approaching, you can use your LRMs, your LRM 30 total salvos. And then once you've gotten to mid to short range, which almost inevitably will happen, either because the enemy team has moved up on you or you have moved up on them, then you can switch modes to firing your medium lasers, using melee if it gets that close, or even still working the LRMs in at medium-ish range. The C4 kind of doesn't have that second mode. I actually was feeling it quite a bit once the 3 enemy catapults moved up onto the hill I was on. Having to continue to creep back to keep my LRMs in range and not having an extra option to take a step or two forward and fire 100 points worth of laser, I really did feel the absence of that laser suite. So I think for the purposes of down the road, because here's the thing, even if we don't get the C4 in the game, even if we don't get this LRM-20 variant of the catapult in the final game, in the mech lab, this is an impossibly easy mech to build. You just replace the LRM-15s of the C1 with 20s, you remove the lasers, you put the 2 smalls in the center torso, you remove the extra heat sinks, you put in a couple extra tons of ammo. There are no changes to hardpoint layouts. You're actually leaving hardpoints vacant at that point, which, whatever. You're getting the bigger launchers. So you could build this, even if we don't get the C4 variant in the game when it's all said and done. I think that the C4 is going to prove more useful in scenario play where you can set yourself up for protracted long-range engagement. Maybe if you mix it in with, maybe you go halvesies. Maybe you go 2 C4s and 2 brawlers. The brawlers move up to capture a point while the 2 catapults with the LRM 40s essentially rein in killer bees with lots of explosions on any targets that need to be hit. Half the lance moves, capture the point, half the other lance, fire support. It is very much a fire support build of the catapult. It is probably the quintessential fire support build for the catapult. Indirect fire support, LRM fire support. There are other builds of the catapult that I've certainly used in the past. The K2 is a wonderful direct fire variant. So the Catapult C4, I think on balance, not better or worse necessarily than the C1. It is just a little bit different in the terms of the roles that it should be playing. And I think it is worth your consideration down the line if we get it in the campaign. So there you go. Bring lots of missiles. Certainly doesn't hurt. Has not hurt in any match I've played so far of this game. But that'll be all for today's BattleTech in the morning. I am Captain Nips, scrubbing the paint off of enemy mechs so that I can rework them and put them into my lance. Wishing you all a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I hope you have a pleasant day, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm off to attend to life and chores. So for now, I'll see all of you in the next video.